My mom took me to the studio, and I've been working professionally since I was 12 years old.
To most people, their homes are not just property or a resting place, but a reflection of who they are and the kind of legacy they want to leave behind. Whitney Houston's Mendham home in New Jersey is a good example of this. The estate has played a huge part in her professional and personal journey. With all the amazing memories that the estate has, many people now ask this one question: how can her home be made to continue honoring her memory while also inspiring future generations? What caused her demise and what's her net worth? In this video, we'll answer these questions, so stay tuned. Whitney Houston's Mendham home, a historical perspective. Whitney Houston, one of the greatest singers of her time and even one of the best singers in today's world, purchased her home in the picturesque suburban enclave of Mendham, New Jersey. From the day she bought it to date, the house has stood to represent her engaging musical journey and has created a lot of personal and heartwarming memories for the singer and her fans. Whitney mentioned that she could write award-winning songs because she saw the house as an inspiration for creativity, and when she stayed there, she discovered exactly who she was. She also discovered what kind of songs she could sing from her heart to better relate with her audience. Whitney purchased the famous Mendham home during the early 1990s. The house is being built on more than 5 acres of land, and it was instrumental in helping her find peace from the eyes of every public media space, especially the ones that always came under scrutiny. She had a very personal connection to the property, and this could be because she spent so many years juggling a demanding career that always had her traveling across the globe. She never really had a place of her own, a place she could go to and unwind, a place that was away from the noise of the outside world. But the Mendham home provided her with that. It gave her the privacy and security that she had always longed for, especially since all she knew for a long time was standing in public and performing. Whitney indulged in a tranquil retreat at the Mendham home thanks to its private setting. She enjoyed her hard-earned money because the home had luxurious amenities. Most people believe that her songs won her several awards because she got so much comfort and joy in her home, and this could not be farther from the truth. Whitney often said during interviews that her home was not just a place of rest, but that it sparked her creative side like nothing else did. According to her, it was the powerful tool she needed to advance to her next life stage. Initially, she wanted to use the home to rest and hang out with friends without the paparazzi. After she noticed that a new spark of creativity was ignited in her because of the house, she installed a recording studio. Here, she worked on her music when she was in between tours, promotional campaigns, or any other personal commitments. In that studio, Whitney recorded many hits, some of which included "I Will Always Love You" and "I Have Nothing." These songs made her known in almost every household, and she became a global sensation. However, that was not all that the superstar used her home for. The house also served as a hub for her creative meetings, which usually involved her brainstorming ideas with her producers, songwriters, and collaborators. They did this exceedingly well because the home provided them an environment to experiment, collaborate, and refine their craft. The songs she made in the Mendham home defined her career from the 1980s to the 1990s. One of the most defining moments that the home helped her accomplish was the release of the album The Preacher's Wife in 1996. This was a film starring Whitney Houston, and the soundtrack featured some of her most beloved tracks. The process of creating the film and the music used as the soundtrack was recorded in her home. In that home, she could reflect on what the film was about and create music that became its soundtrack and hence stayed with so many people over the years to come. This plan worked like magic. However, The Preacher's Wife was not the only great achievement she used her home's serenity to gain. The Mendham estate was the first to witness the My Love Is Your Love album released in 1998. This album was a major topic of discussion among almost everybody, and up to date, people still listen to and enjoy it with their loved ones. The album marked a shift in Whitney's musical style and showcased her embracing different elements like rhythm and blues, hip-hop, and even dance. Whitney had devoted so much time and energy to the album. She even went the extra mile to involve some of the biggest names in the industry, and many of these collaborations took place in the creative environments of her home. The My Love Is Your Love album showed people she could adapt to almost any music genre and was willing to explore different musical territories. Also, some stories talk about how she used her home to produce late-night jam sessions at Mendham Estate, and one of those sessions led to her recording the song I Will Always Love You. This particular song was one of Whitney's most iconic. Although the song was originally written and recorded by the legendary Dolly Parton, Whitney's version became a global anthem. This is because she worked day and night on her vocal delivery. She poured all her emotions into the song, and it paid off by becoming an international hit. According to Whitney, she achieved that because of the home. She said the song was amplified because she poured her connection to her home into it. She also mentioned that while recording the song, she was thinking about her experiences, relationships, and the freedom only her home gave her. All these achievements were birthed at the Mendham Estate. However, Whitney did not use her home only for resting and creating award-winning music. She also used it to navigate the different complexities of life, one of which was her family dynamics. At Mendham Estate, she provided a thriving space for her daughter and her ex-husband Bobby Brown. It was also a beautiful place for them to create lots of family memories, which they did. Some of the memories were bittersweet, but they all helped her become a better mother and a great artist. Her home also allowed her fans to see her personal and human side, a woman who eagerly wanted normalcy despite her extremely busy life. As a result, the Mendham Estate stands strong as a testament to Whitney's influence in music, culture, and entertainment worldwide. It was not just a place to rest her head, but also a place for her most transformative and iconic moments. Architectural design of Whitney Houston's Mendham Estate. The Mendham Estate was built on more than 5 acres of land, which means it has a lot of space. The estate has a recording studio, a well-designed and detailed guest house, and many recreational centers. When one looks closer at the building, it is obvious that the main residence was designed with an open floor plan. Because of this, a lot of natural light can flow freely through the space, giving the estate a warm feeling. The Mendham Estate includes a sliding door and an enclosed backyard. The sliding door connects the home's interior to the outdoor spaces, creating a seamless transition between them. When one opens the sliding door, the warmth and fresh air from the outside world sips into the house, providing its occupants with a soothing and relaxing ambiance. The estate also has an enclosed backyard, which gives the occupants of this estate the privacy and security they need. This makes it extremely easy for them to relax and settle down with some nice entertainment. The grounds of the estate, which were well expanded, were beautified with mature trees and soothing flowers that added to the beauty and tranquility of the estate. As Whitney Houston, a great artist, stayed on the estate, it was important to create double security and take the appropriate measures to ensure she was safe and sound. One such measure was fencing the estate. The fencing was made using some of the best raw materials, tested and proven durable and tough. The estate's interior was also thoughtfully designed to accommodate Whitney's busy lifestyle and professional requirements. One of the things included was the recording studio. This infamous recording studio was designed to meet the extremely high standards of professional music production. Russ Berger was very detailed in his design. He used state-of-the-art equipment for acoustics and soundproofing. He included a control room, a live room, and an isolation booth in the studio. Moving out of the studio, we see that the Mendham Estate has many other amazing and luxurious details. Some of these details include a well-detailed skylight and well-expanded rooms. The living room, for example, has a circular skylight and a curved wall of windows. This allows natural light to brighten up the room and offers exhilarating views of the landscape surrounding it. The architect also included things like clear-story windows and high ceilings, which opened the home more and allowed more air to circulate freely. The outdoor space of the Mendham Estate holds a very beautiful and expensive tennis court. This court is located just beyond the main residence and was one of Whitney's best spots for resting. This is because she truly enjoyed playing tennis, which was one way she calmed herself and experienced happiness. The size of the court was not made known to the public, but many assumed it would be close to the actual tennis court, which is 78 feet long and 27 feet wide. This measurement, however, is used for single matches and usually expands to 36 feet in width for doubles. The Mendham Estate Court provided space for singles and doubles matches. The court was always surrounded by beautiful greenery, which gave a private and secluded atmosphere to all who played. Whitney always enjoyed her games at the court with a coach, friends, and even her family members. This exercise always helped her focus on her health and well-being, and the court added a tint of elegance to any party she chose to have outdoors. In addition to the tennis court and all the other structures she had outside, a hot tub and pool also complemented her Mendham estate. This added more elegance and screamed of luxury back then. Her friends usually loved to hang out by the pool and have a nice chat ever so often. This happened especially during the hot summer days when it seemed like outdoor activities were the worst thing. However, with Whitney's pool, her friends and family could swim around its sparkling blue waters and feel refreshed. With the intricate designs on the poolside, one could sense that Whitney was intentional about it. The poolside was designed with elegant stonework and a stone patio that was extremely good for lounging or entertainment. The poolside also had very comfortable furniture that was mostly used outside. She also left a lot of space, allowing her to properly host her friends and families whenever she wanted them to enjoy the beautiful scenery of her home. Her desire to have a place where people could feel relaxed and energized for the next stage of their lives was fulfilled by the existence of this pool. However, this fulfillment did not come only to her friends, but also to her. Most times she could be seen reading a book by the pool, enjoying a nice drink, or just soaking up the serenity of the house. This made it easy for her to connect with her inner self and write award-winning songs. On the other hand, the hot tub is located in a more private corner of the estate, and it is a perfect place for Whitney to decompress after a long day because it offers the relief and peace she deserves. All the features of the Mendham estate work together in uniformity, giving it a natural beauty like none other. The fact that the estate was built far away from the noise and chaos of the city also gave it a heartwarming charm and allure. The landscape was another fascinating part of the estate. The tall trees and large hedges that shielded Whitney naturally from the outside world were greatly admired by onlookers. The well-maintained lawns gave a winding path for garden spaces to thrive and made the house more serene. Finally, the flower beds, which came in vibrant colors and scents, made the place tranquil and refreshing. The estate showed just how much Whitney loved nature. Many people visiting her consistently reported that she never played with her natural environment. She could always be seen taking walks through the garden, enjoying the privacy and peace it offered, and she was especially fond of doing this in the early mornings. Whitney had a strong bond with this house, making people wonder what became of it after her demise. Was the environment ever the same again? Let's find out. The house after Whitney Houston's demise. February 2012 saw the demise of one of the greatest artists of our time, Whitney Houston. The world mourned her demise, and it was one of the saddest periods of the year. However, even though her demise left an almost indelible mark on not just her fans but also the music industry, it also made people start asking a series of questions about her personal life. And the greatest topic of discussion was her New Jersey estate, the Mendham home. It did not take long before the property, which had been the star's abode, fell into disrepair and slowly became a subject of speculation. Rumors started spreading about what would eventually happen to the home, and many people believed its beauty would die with its owner. However, was that what truly happened? The estate, which has the style of a ranch, was built in the year 1973 and was acquired by Whitney Houston in the year 1993. This was done during the peak of her musical career. Back then, she got the house for $537,000. The actual size of the estate is 3,000 square feet. The house served Whitney well, and she flourished in her career due to this purchase. However, when her challenges expanded, she was forced to sell the property in 2010 for $940,000. This happened 2 years before she died. However, by mid-2010, rumors spread about the 12,561-foot-acre mansion with 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. People said the house was abandoned and neglected, therefore causing it to fall into disrepair. Fans even trespassed into the home, and it did not take long before stories of ghostly sightings spread like wildfire. As a result of these rumors, her devoted fans knew that something had to be done to ensure that the house and its glory did not fade away and die like its original owner. After Whitney's demise, the new owners renovated the house to fit their style and demands. It was a new age, and some of the structures in the house were built to fit the time and age in which the house was designed. Even though Whitney loved it that way, the new owners were not so happy with it. They renovated it to look more modern while preserving its historical essence. One change they made was to the indoor pool, which was converted to a 3-season great room with cedar ceilings and sliding doors leading to the outdoors. One thing that was not touched was Whitney's Houston recording studio. The studio served as a hallmark of all the great songs she released, and the new owners did their best to maintain its sentimental and artistic significance. They took immense care of the house, but could not live there for the rest of their lives. So, by April 2022, Mendham Estate was returned to the market and was given the listing price of $1.6 million. The real estate agent had to emphasize the luxurious features of the house to make it more juicy and mouth-watering for anyone to want to purchase. The features listed included a gourmet eat-in kitchen, a formal dining room, and a beautifully renovated primary bedroom suite. The agent also highlighted the indoor pool, which its last owners transformed. They indicated that the room is now very spacious and perfect for entertaining. As soon as the property was listed, it gained a lot of attention, and this was sorely because of its historical significance and how it was connected to the prestigious Whitney Houston. The house did not stay for long on the market, and in June 2022, it was sold for $1,599,000. It was purchased by a very devoted fan of Whitney Houston, Matthew Krautheimer. When Matthew purchased the home, he indicated that he was moved by its history and wanted to preserve it so that he could honor Whitney's legacy. After this purchase, Whitney Houston's former estate now stands as a symbol of her life, her struggles, and how she endured through her influence in music and culture. For all her fans, the property will remain a tangible property that connects them to the artist who ushered in a new era with her unparalleled voice. With her musical achievements, what do you think was Whitney's net worth at the time of her demise, and now? Whitney Houston's net worth. Whitney Houston was celebrated for her amazing vocal abilities and immense contributions to the music and film industries. As a result of all these, her journey was filled with immense earnings. However, even when the woman had made millions in the entertainment industry, she faced many financial challenges. This was because of her pitfalls in fame and her mismanagement of her money. From the 1980s to the 1990s, Houston sold more than 170 million albums, singles, and videos worldwide. However, her debut album, Whitney Houston, released in the 1985, and the follow-up Whitney, released in 1987, had songs that always topped the charts. As she succeeded in the music industry, she also decided to move into the film industry and started acting. One of the most iconic films she starred in was The Bodyguard, released in 1992. The movie's soundtrack was from her song I Will Always Love You, which suddenly became one of the best-selling soundtracks ever. This just confirmed her legacy the more. Houston slowly started worldwide tours and was especially known for her electrifying performances. These tours gave her massive revenues and many very lucrative endorsement deals. All these added to her financial portfolio and made her one of the wealthiest entertainers of her time. Her assets, which she earned over 25 years, amounted to $250 million, and to this day, she remains one of the highest-earning posthumous female celebrities. However, despite this success, Houston faced many financial challenges while alive. Several reports showed that she mismanaged most of her finances and was in debt for many years. During the early 2000s, she experienced a major deterioration in her finances, and her wealth was slowly fading. When she passed away, rumors had it that she owed approximately $25 million. These debts were incurred from record deals, real estate investments, and personal expenses. Many people usually ask how it is possible that when she passed, she owned over $25 million, but currently, she has a net worth of $250 million. Whitney's financial journey consists of many highs and lows, but one of the things that has helped her is her posthumous earnings. These earnings mostly came from the revival of her estate. The estate was revived due to the spike in her music sales, licensing deals, and the renewed public interest in her legacy. For example, her albums gave her an estimated $40 million 1 year after her demise. This resulted from the rise of streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music. These platforms helped keep her songs in circulation and generated millions annually. Also, the estate was met with very lucrative agreements. One such agreement was the $14 million deal with Sony, which gave Sony the right to her music. Another partnership that gave her enough money was the partnership with Primary Wave. Primary Wave is a music publishing company, and the deal was made to simply manage her catalog. Another factor contributing to her present net worth is strategic estate management. Her family handled the affairs of her estate, especially her daughter Bobby Christina, who inherited the estate and later passed it on to Primary Wave. Primary Wave contributed greatly to the growth of her network. Also, her documentaries like Whitney Can I Be Me, released in 2017, and the biopic I Wanna Dance with Somebody, released in 2022, contributed greatly to the estate earnings because they continually crossed millions at the box office through distribution rights.
There have been times when I know I was going through a lot of emotional stress and my eating habits were awful.
Whitney dying, crack rehab fails.
Whitney Houston passed away on the 11th of February 2012. Her passing shocked everyone. It also hinted that she was facing challenges in her later years. Her passing also happened during the Grammy Award period, and she was honored during the award. Unfortunately, before she passed, Whitney had faced personal struggles and financial challenges, and her demise reminded many that fame usually takes a toll on people. Personal and professional difficulties marked the events leading up to her demise. The great artist that was celebrated as the Voice saw a great decline in her career during the early 2000s. Immediately after her rise to superstardom, which happened during the 1980s to 1990s, she struggled with substance use. This made her develop erratic behavior, miss her performances, and face a decline in her vocal ability, which marred her public image. After a while, she admitted that she was battling with some cravings. In her interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2009, she spoke freely about how she had become dependent on hard substances, and this happened especially during her years of being married to her ex-husband, Bobby Brown. Also, she mentioned that she did have periods of sobriety. However, these periods were always followed by relapses that highlighted the challenges people who go through a long-term recovery usually face. During this period, Whitney Houston tried her best to revive her career by releasing her album of 2009 titled I Look to You, but the comeback of that album was filled with mixed reviews. The 2009 album debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart, and it sold over 305,000 copies in its first week. However, critics were quick to point out that her voice, which was pristine before, was affected by years of substance use. Most people no longer saw her as their hero, and due to her inconsistencies, many stopped following her musical career and lost interest in her music. In 2012, Houston knew she had to make a comeback to the music and film industry, so she completed her film Sparkle, which was a musical drama, and also a remake for the 1979 film. Even when the film was very engaging, people could still sense the behind the scenes, and they were still concerned about her health and well-being. On that fateful day, Whitney Houston was found unresponsive in her bathtub in her suite at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills, California. As of then, she had entered the town to attend the pre-Grammy Award party hosted by her longtime mentor, Clive Davis. According to what journalists gathered, she appeared disoriented and unwell days before the event. According to the coroner's report, her cause of demise was accidental drowning. However, heart disease and chronic substances were also listed as contributing factors. When toxicology tests were revealed, they found traces of metabolites, which showed that they were recent uses of other hard substances like Xanax, Benadryl, and Flexeril. However, these substances did not actively contribute to her demise. The discovery of these hard substances in her system made the public resume their battle about her cravings. Once people heard of her demise, Her fans gathered outside the Beverly Hilton Hotel to mourn her. They left flowers, candles, and even heartfelt notes that all contributed to her tribute. Also, social media pages were flooded with messages of grief and disbelief. People in the entertainment industry were not left behind. They poured in their tributes. Clive Davis, who played a pivotal role in her life by discovering her, described her as a once-in-a-lifetime talent, whose voice would leave an indelible mark on music. Her funeral was held on the 18th of February 2012 at New Hope Baptist Church in Newark, New Jersey. This was where she first showed off her singing talent as a kid. The service was attended by close family and friends as well as celebrities. Also, there were performances by Stevie Wonder and Alicia Keys. Whitney Houston's demise left a great mark on her family. The person who was most affected was her daughter, Bobbi Kristina, who was also battling her struggles. Within a few years, precisely in January of 2015, Bobbi Kristina was also found in a bathtub in her home in Roswell, Georgia, and she was unresponsive. Fortunately, she was rushed to the hospital, and after 6 months in an induced coma, she finally passed away on the 26th of July, 2015 at 22. The cause of her passing was recorded as lobar pneumonia, which resulted from brain damage caused as a result of prolonged immersion in water and drug intoxication. What are your thoughts on all these? Do you believe that Whitney and her daughter Bobbi intentionally harmed themselves? Or was it an accident? Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. You can also watch the other videos displayed on your screen.